I'm Elisa Parker. It is the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, 23 years of this incredible festival. It's one of the largest film festivals of its kind in the world. And thousands of amazing people who are making things happen for the better all converge here in Nevada City, California, and Grass Valley, California. This is the Media Lounge. We've been in operation for at least over 15 years as part of this festival, and many thanks to the Nevada City Winery for being our continued host and supporter of this. It's wonderful, and if you haven't been, come on down. It's not too late. We're going to have film screening through Monday. I am so excited to introduce our next guests. We have Dana and Sarah here representing the film The Hard Part, which, you know, when you think about farming and romanticizing it, there is a lot involved, and maybe it's not as easy as it looks, or the romanticism about it all. But first, welcome Dana and Sarah. Welcome back. Well, what?
Lara.
Okay, it's Lara.
It does rhyme with Sarah.
Rhymes with Sarah.
Yeah.
Welcome, Lara. Sorry about that. So, and Lara, welcome back to Nevada City.
Thank you.
It's good. So you were with the Woolman semester back.
Yeah, I taught world issues at the Woolman semester. Best teaching job I've ever had in 2007, 2008. This is the first time I've been back.
Wow.
Since then, so it's amazing to be back here.
Yeah, I mean, Nevada City is an extra special community for sure. But now, so for how many years have you been running your farm?
So this particular farm, 7 years. We moved there. Oh gosh, we moved there when our little guy was 2.5, and now he's 10.5. So.
It's been, wow. Up in Washington.
Up in Washington. So we're about 25 minutes northeast of the Portland airport. So we're in the gorge. We're just in the beginning of the gorge.
How did you and Dana connect with each other?
Lara used to host weddings at their farm. And I actually just randomly went to a wedding at the farm. I've been working in film and media for a long time and have always been particularly interested in food and agriculture, have done a lot of storytelling around those themes. And so Lara was there, and obviously I was just asking her about her farm and, chatting a bit, and she was really, a person that is very striking when you meet her, because she is extremely passionate, which lots of people are passionate.
You have to have some extra passion to be what Lara and her husband and family are doing. And she really felt like she had a story that she wanted to tell. And we, worked on a very short film together, kind of right after that happened. And then COVID happened, we, carried on our lives, and then she reached out to me just out of the blue in, I guess, 2022, and I always say, I just got this email, and the subject line was movie idea. Was that after COVID? It was
2022.
Actually, the funny thing is, I so specifically remember this one day. So we're in the Pacific Northwest, and it really comes out in the film. There's so many scenes in the film where it's just pouring rain. My hair was, matted. But there was this one day, must have been 2022, and I was fencing in a new paddock. I was trying to get the goats and the sheep fenced. We're on a 40-acre farm, but it's on a massive hillside. So I was taking electric netting, and I was stringing electric netting from the barn to the top of the farm, and it was just pouring rain. I was alone on the farm, and I think I had to change my overalls 2 or 3 times that day because I would get soaking wet. And I just remember thinking, why doesn't anyone see this part of farming? I'm out there by myself. And that was, my original idea when I reached out for Dana. I was thinking about Dana needs to be filming this. She needs to be filming the hard part, because all the farmy movies, it's all, and their hair always looks, I'm like, how does their hair look so good? I need so that, I think it was probably that night, I, typed Dana.
And having farmer's hands, too.
Yeah, with my farmer's hands, typed her a message and said, I have a movie idea. Yeah.
It changed a lot from that time to where it finally, ended.
He's capturing the full seasons.
Yeah,
of the whole experience over a year.
Exactly. Yeah, which it grew. Yeah, I think.
What was your relationship like then?
Yeah.
How did that develop over the year? Because when you're a filmmaker, especially in a situation like this, there's trust involved on this, right? It becomes a very intimate relationship.
Yeah, I mean, Lara
loved it.
can. Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things. Like, I've actually always said that if this film has any success whatsoever, it will be because of the trusting relationship that we built. And I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, like our relationship evolved. I mean, we spent a lot of time together, and it was genuine.
It was really interesting. There was a point when Dana actually told me I've hired an editor because, it got to the point where Dana is such a lot of people have this reaction. I know our midwife had this reaction with me too, where, she said, I try to keep a neutral, and like Dana in the beginning, I think was trying very hard to keep a very,
right.
I'm
There's
a
the boundaries
and
here.
And I don't do
No, that's
that.
not how you are.
So there was a point where she was saying, I think I even asked her, how on earth could you edit this when you've just become so intertwined with the life of our farm?
Yeah, and that happens to a lot of filmmakers, being intertwined with that. And with the people,
Yeah.
it's like your reason to care for each other. And then it becomes the reason why you're doing the film in the first place.
Yeah, I never really tried that hard to keep any strong boundary. Because I think that it's the strength of the film.
Yeah.
Like, that's how, you trust that I have the same story in mind to tell that you do, and we're going to work on it together. And
that was what I should say.
Yeah.
One thing that you said that really meant so much to me was the film's raw.
Yeah.
It's really raw. And there was a lot of stuff that happened over the course. It says a year, but really it's 2 years of filming. And there was a lot of personal stuff. And I think there was a point when I just thought, oh God, what are people going to think? This film's going to go out there in the world, and it's a lot about my personal life. And but Dana always throughout said, I'm never going to make a film about you that you don't like. And that it meant so much to know, just to be able to just be myself fully. I'm not good at not doing that, so
Right. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But
that's
there was a
amazing.
little bit of a scary moment.
Totally. You're like,
oh.
what am I? Yeah.
I think when some of those really harder parts were happening, and you don't necessarily realize in the beginning of making a film what it's going to be like when your real life starts unfolding, and then you start thinking about oh, people are going to watch this, and how is that going to feel?
How do you feel about it now? Have you watched? Has it screened yet?
Yeah.
It's screened
Okay.
yet.
How was that? How was that sitting there with a whole audience?
Luckily for me,
She had seen it.
I had seen it. Dana did a premiere screening in Portland in October.
Yeah,
Was it
for our family,
it was
our friends,
invite
yeah.
and I sat holding hands with a friend and cried through the whole thing. And one of the things, I don't know if we're supposed to give away things that happen in the film.
Yeah.
One of the things that happens in the film has to do with my milk cow, my beautiful Jersey milk cow who falls through the ice, and there's this whole part of the film where I'm trying to rehabilitate her, and it's hard to watch, and
It's reliving some of it too.
having to relive that. This time, thank goodness, it was the second time I had seen that. But I have to say, it just the overwhelming support and people who came up to talk to us after the film was beautiful.
I love this because this is what's unique about the festival too, is we often have some of the subject matter, like the subjects in the film, along with the filmmakers, which is unique, right? And it's twofold. Not only are we learning the life of you and your family and the life as a farmer and the day-to-day and what that entails, and then your personal story that ties into it, right? Then we also get to learn of the relationship you have, and also providing you, even, I love this, just sharing your relationship with each other and how it's unfolded. It gives courage to everybody, right? To have the courage and a permission to be able to share our own stories, because it's easy for us to think, am I being judged? What are people going to think? And so you are walking the talk.
Yeah.
You are walking the talk and doing that, and you are showing up saying, like, I can build trust and, to have this channel modality to share, regardless of even the content of it, right?
And that's one thing that I've just seen now with the 2 separate screenings. And I just give Dana so much credit for making this movie. And I mean, the cute thing is, in the beginning, really the vision, I think, was like a 10-minute film, but she kept saying, okay, I'm done filming, but let me know if anything interesting is happening. And I was like, all right. And it just kept, I mean, that was the thing. This happened over and over and over. She'd be like, I'm done. I'm really done filming, and I'd call her up and be like, we're going to get piglets. But she, the number of people who have come up to me who have been farmers in these 2 screenings and just wanting to say, thank you. I've lived that same life, and it's really unique and special to see someone else who's gone through the hard stuff.
That's great. Really and by the way, I mean, you grew up in a city, in DC, so this is, we all have the opportunity to recreate our lives and reimagine what we want as our lives, depending, even if you grew up in a city. You could be a farmer as well. You could be a filmmaker as well. So, and it's a film screening again?
Here at Wild and Scenic? I don't believe so. But
okay, well, you're going to have to get the library.
Yeah.
Go to the Wild and Scenic Library. It was so wonderful to meet you both. Thank you so much for being part of this festival. Thank you for having the courage to share your story and the trials and tribulations of being a farmer and doing that with your family. It's amazing. And thank you for connecting us with Lara and for, it's amazing. The film is called The Hard Part. The Hard Part. There's a lot of farmers here in Nevada City and Grass Valley, so take a moment to give props to them and knowing where our local food comes from as well. So thank you again. I'm Elisa Parker. This is the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, and we'll be back in just a bit. Kim Ewing's going to be taking over for a bit, and I'll see you in a little bit later this afternoon. Thanks so much.